Boston Strong, let's get this party started! Coming to the ring for our main event, ranked number 2 in the world, Walter the Executioner Kautondokwa!
There is Walter Kautondokwa taking the fight on just 10 days' notice after Billy Joe Saunders was bounced by the Massachusetts Commission, failed his drug test. They would not license him. Always a difficult thing in this day and age. What do you do then? Because you've been training for a fight. That's Demetrius Andrade. There's a lot at stake. You want the event to go on. What do you do in this case? They go to Namibia, to a fighter who is 17-0 and now gets the chance of a lifetime and a WBO belt at 160 pounds. This is the chance of a lifetime for Kautondokwa, going against a very skilled fighter.
And now making his entrance to the ring, the 2-time world champion, Demetrius Andrade!
Well, this is quite the look. His nickname is Boo Boo, and they're taking the Halloween thing very seriously, evidently.
That's Boo Boo.
We are. I'm glad you guys are speechless.
Yes. The entire team, too.
Yes, everybody. Is there a movie I'm missing with these masks, or is that anybody?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. I could be missing something. That's easy to do. Andrade, though, is a very skilled fighter, very accomplished amateur. Only his second fight at middleweight. He was a WBO belt holder at junior middleweight. Was stripped of that belt for inactivity. And look, you can get stripped of a belt for all sorts of reasons. The main thing, though, is he's 30 years old. And Sergio, he is a smooth, fluid boxer.
Yes, he is. He does everything pretty much right. He's an Olympian, the 2-time world champion. He's unbeaten, he's avoided. But he's unpopular because he needs that name on his resume. Sometimes he doesn't take the right risk to try to capitalize on his performances. And that's a knock on him. And I think I got the movie, Brian. Yeah, The Town. It was based here, I think, in Boston, The Town with Ben Affleck. They wore masks like that when they robbed banks.
Oh, okay. I knew there had to be something.
There has to be a connection, right?
Yeah, there had to be something, and I'm fine with that. Good, thank you.
Well, what are you guys talking about?
I'm just thinking, these masks just don't exist. I don't think. Tail of the tape. Kautondokwa is 33 years old, the older fighter in the ring. Andrade with a height advantage. It's a 6'1". Both coming in, of course, at weight, 160 pounds. The reach is the same. Unified rules, of course, what we have had all throughout the night. No standing 8, no 3 knockdown rule. You cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. You know the rules at this point. Let's go back to the center of the ring, the main event, and Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, from TD Garden here in Boston Strong, Boston, Massachusetts, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing USA proudly presents the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO Middleweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by Magic Hat Beer, Magic Hat, Step Right Out, and JD Sports. Sanctioned by the Massachusetts State Athletic Commission, Commissioner Guy Lashardi, and the World Boxing Organization President Francisco Paco Barcarcel, Supervisor at ringside Michael Pernick. The 3 judges scoring this contest: Ramon Cerdan, Glenn Feldman, Marcus McDonald, and the man in charge of the action at the bell, World Championship veteran referee Steve Willis. And now, it's undefeated versus undefeated. Somebody's has got to go. So, from Boston, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner with his trainer Sabik Keparu, wearing black with silver, official weight 158.4 pounds. His professional record is a perfect one. 17 fights, 17 victories, including 16 big wins by knockout from Windhoek, Namibia, the WBO African middleweight champion, the undefeated #2 ranked middleweight in the world, Walter, the Executioner, Kautondokwa. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner with his trainer Paul Andrade, wearing white with black and officially weighing in at 160 pounds. This Olympian now has a perfect professional record consisting of 25 fights, 25 victories, including 16 wins by knockout. From Providence, Rhode Island, USA, the undefeated #1 ranked middleweight in the world, two-time light middleweight champion of the world, Demetrius Andrade.
Let's bring him out. Okay, gentlemen, you're both over here, focus. You both receive instructions, obey the commands, protect yourselves at all times. Right now, under the letters, that's low. Under the letters here, that's low. Tap it up, there we go. Here we go.
Interesting. Andrade was wandering. Maybe he doesn't like the stare down. He doesn't really want to look him in the eye. Main event here, Demetrius Andrade expected to come in and have a big fight against Billy Joe Saunders. He is still fighting for a WBO belt at 160 pounds. And we're underway, and it should be interesting. Ray Leonard, Sergio Mora, first round, as Andrade gets a look at something he just has not seen or has had the ability to even scout.
One thing that stands out to me, Andrade is a big middleweight, junior middleweight, but Kautondokwa is really big. I didn't expect him to be this big. He looks like he's 6'1", 6'2" in there.
Yeah, you know, Andrade's listed 6'1". Kautondokwa, we had 5'11", and he looks like he's much taller.
He is not 5'11".
Yeah, it's not a 5'11".
No, Kautondokwa, he looks huge.
You know,
Watch your feet, watch your feet.
You know, he had to
Watch the feet.
fly, what, 30 hours?
These are two big middleweights.
No question. No, this looks like a fight at 68, doesn't it? Maybe 175.
175,
He looks like, you know, Bob Foster, Kautondokwa. You know, at that size, who was, of course, a light heavyweight champion.
I was going to say, they look light heavyweights.
Now, let's see what Kautondokwa has. He is 33 years old. He's from Namibia. Took the fight on 10 days' notice. It's his first fight outside of Africa. He is 17-0. So again, he's untested, but he is successful. Andrade moves well, boxes well. You can see how quick he is with his hands. Nice jab and follows up with the left hand. I've seen Andrade at many events where he will walk up and say to me, when am I going to get my chance? And I said, no, you deserve it. The guy can really box. There's been a number of things in his career that have slowed him up. Management issues, promotional issues, basic, you know, boxing politics, as Lennox Lewis would call it. Now, though, he gets to fight for another belt, not against the guy he wanted, but it is an opportunity for him to shine.
I got a better one. When I won the Contender, I remember he told me, hey, I need someone to fight. How about you, Sergio? I go, not me. Andrade is one of these guys that no one wants to fight because he's so good. He's been good since the amateurs. He's an all-around excellent boxer. He's a southpaw. He's tall. He has enough pop to get respect. He has a high IQ.
You know, decorated amateur. This is a guy, we were talking about this earlier, like, you know what would you see? You see 10.
That is not a good look for Andrade.
6.
Now the count starts.
7.
Hey, you okay? You okay? Over here. Hey.
Tripped up,
Okay.
All right, so Willis saw it, but there's no warning, and Kautondokwa's just going to have to deal with it.
Hey, credit to Kautondokwa for getting up on that because he could have easily stayed down, and the referee had to acknowledge the fact that Andre did hit him when he was down.
We'll see.
Good body shots by Andrade. Andre's a chance. Only 10 seconds left in this first round, but maybe a chance to take this man out.
His head is clear now.
All right, we're going to take another look at that. That happened fast.
That was pretty quick.
And Kautondokwa has got to try to recover.
Where's the bucket? Where's the bucket?
Straight up the middle. And then just tripped up. Looked like he was tripped up, but then as he's down, he catches one. Now, in Andre's defense, I don't know, he was on his way down, or am I being too lenient here?
No, I think you're being lenient. He was down, and he hit him when he was down, and I think that second shot was worse than the first one. I think this shot right here when he was down was a cleaner shot to the one that put him down.
But he made contact.
And I'll say this, when I saw it live, I thought he had time to see that Kautondokwa was down.
Oh, wait a minute. There's they stepped in the foot. Andrade, since he's a southpaw, and Kautondokwa is an orthodox fighter, they stepped on each other's foot, so that had a lot to do with him going down.
Again, Steve Willis has reason to take a point away, to hold up the fight, or disqualify him. I mean, in real time, as we get underway in round 2, in real time, I thought Andrade, and correct me if you disagree, fellas, had time to see, wait, this guy is down on one knee. Do you agree or disagree?
No, it's in the heat of the battle, and that's what happens.
Okay, so you're, all right, Sergio, your thought on that?
No, he hit him when he was down, and Andre was, he's too experienced to know any better or any worse, so he hit him when he was down. But in his defense, it was a knockdown, and it was a late hit, and the heat of action, sometimes it happens.
Good body shot there by Andrade as he gets right back to work here. A lot to absorb there in the first round, and Walter Kautondokwa is just looking to survive. You see the skill level for Andrade, able to jab straight up the middle and slip out of danger. He is smooth, and he is fluid with his hands.
Fluid is a good, yeah, that's exactly the way he called it. Takes his time.
That's good vision. I know, Ray, you love that. You can see a guy who's totally getting the computer readout of his opponent.
Good body shot.
Good body shot.
And another thing, he just finished getting the knockdown. Now he's the one moving and giving angles and using the ring. That's a smart thing by Andrade's part because he knows that Kautondokwa just got dropped. He's going to want to get it back to second round.
Andrade measuring his man, lands a body shot and slips through. Again, he, on paper, is the taller man, but in real life, he is not. He's looking up at Kautondokwa.
I can't believe how big he is. Actually, Michael Buffer's the first one to notice that. He told me he saw him in the back, he took a picture with him, and he said, wait a minute, how tall is Kautondokwa? Because he's taller than me.
What I see here in Kautondokwa, Walter, is Walter. Thank you. No, he telegraphed his punches. He has a tendency to show it before it's there.
Just pawing at a jab there as Andrade throws straight up the middle with his left hand.
Good shot by Kautondokwa.
A little success there with the right hand.
And you know what?
Straight up.
What I'm noticing it right now is that Andre just knocked him down in the last round. He had a good round, but he's the one moving this round. So he must be feeling his heavy hands by Walter there.
And moving away deftly there. He moves his head beautifully. Gets out of danger.
Just an imposing figure, Kautondokwa. He's scary, he's big, he's tall. He has a serious poker face on him. He's stalking down his opponent. Good left hook there by Kautondokwa.
Yeah, any punch that lands is kind of a power punch. But Andre's moving well. He's doing the right thing.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2. Fairly uneventful, but Andre boxing well. Coming up a 12-month layoff. Not the most active fighter. And we're going to go back to round 1 again. And let's watch it again in slow motion and see, did he have time? Did Demetrius Andrade have time to know, all right, my opponent has been tripped up, he's going down, Did he have time for that to register, or Ray Leonard, as you said, was that fighter down? Now let's watch it in real time and see what you think watching it again. He had time. Ray, I think
he had time. No, he had time. I agree.
And it's just the instincts of it. You see a guy go down, boom, the knee, and then bang. It's a half second later, but I'm thinking his brain, as Sergio, you mentioned, with all of his experience, he had time to register. That man's down.
And not only that, but the glove was down.
But in the street, it's okay.
In the what?
In the street.
In the street. Look, in the cage, if this was a cage, should be okay. There's no cage here. Round 3. Scheduled for 12. We're trying to be fair as Andre comes out, fighting orthodox now, spins around.
The glove was clearly down, so that's how you know.
Plus, he had time to register. We're getting deep into the weeds here, but he had time to register as he tripped over him, saw him going down. You know what's happening.
Normally, when that happens, it's because the fighter must feel something. Like, he knows that Kautondokwa has some heavy hands, and he just wants to get him out of there. He must be feeling a little threat from Kautondokwa.
But you know, we don't know a lot about Walter's opponents in Africa. But you know one thing about it, he's never faced anyone with the speed and skills of Andre.
No, not possible. You're talking about a decorated amateur.
Yes.
World champion in 2007, over 200 amateur bouts. You see Andrade outlanding Kautondokwa through 2 rounds by a wide margin. Faster hands. He goes back to southpaw. You saw earlier in the night, Kid Galahad in our opening bout here, the first of the last 4 fights at our main events here, really go back and forth from right-handed to left-handed. Andrade, I don't think does that as often, but he's able to do it here.
Andrade is being very careful for some reason. I mean, he's boxing really nicely, he's controlling the pace of the action, but he must be feeling the heavy hands from Kautondokwa, that's for sure.
You think so?
Yes, because look, after the knockdown, you would think that he would want to start fast again. This is his big debut on the big stage. This is where he wanted his entire career. He dropped their opponent. If he can knock out someone as powerful as Kautondokwa, that's great, but right now he's boxing. He must be feeling
also
something.
coming back and firing some hard shots. Andrade able to block a few of them, but Kautondokwa having a little bit of success now, punches off the top of the head.
Work your way out, work your way out. Hands are free, hands are free. Just heavy hands, just totally heavy hands.
Hey, watch back head, okay?
Steve Willis there, I agree. Punch out of that. Don't tie each other up. Box out.
All I'm saying is Andrade's in control. That's easily seen, but he must be feeling those heavy hands from Kautondokwa because he knows.
3, 4.
He's out.
5, 6, 7.
He's up.
Hey, come here.
No, he's out.
You okay?
He's out.
Willis asked
Okay.
him to step toward him.
Okay.
This is going
Go.
to be deadly.
He was not able to step toward him. I'll say that. You're supposed to be able to take a step to the referee. Andre back to work. Kautondokwa now firing back.
Hands are free.
Last gasp. What a beautiful shot by Andre.
Walter should tie his man up, which he doesn't have the experience to know that.
I'm a little surprised it kept going.
And he's going to survive. Wow, I didn't expect him to survive that. He was badly hurt. That just shows how shaky he is, Kautondokwa.
Fire again in the final seconds. Uppercut lands by Andrade, but Kautondokwa has survived.
What guts on him? What guts on Kautondokwa? He was out. I didn't expect him to get up from that.
Neither did Andrade, because Andrade was celebrating right above us.
No, he was
standing
out.
on the ropes, standing up
You were winning the round.
on the top of the ropes.
That says
You were winning the
a lot.
round. After you fight,
This was a vicious shot from a punch that Kautondokwa didn't see. He got an angle on it right on the jaw. Those are the worst punches to get hit in boxing.
That's a sensational shot.
And he composed himself and got back up. That was impressive.
The reason I said I was surprised was Steve Willis has been pretty active, right, in this whole fight. And he's been on top of things, even telling Andrade to focus at the very start.
Let's be
so
loose.
when he said, hey, come toward me, Kautondokwa did not take a step toward the referee. He did not. And normally if that happens, if he wanders and drifts, then you end it.
How Kautondokwa survived that round, I have no idea. He was out. That just shows you how in good a shape he is and how much valor he has.
Round 4, Kautondokwa rocked. We thought it was over. There was every reason to be over, but he refused to submit.
And that would have been the perfect ending for Andre, who's in He needs the big knockout wins like that to get the attention, and that would have been a perfect way to end it.
Andrade needs a mandate from the fans, from promoters, to fight the other top middleweights. Danny Jacobs fights next week. Canelo Alvarez just signed with Dazn. That's an 11-fight deal. You figure at some point...
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You figure at some
Don't do it.
point in an 11-fight deal, Canelo Alvarez is going to be there, and so will Andrade. But he has to, again, create that mandate where he cannot be avoided any longer.
He needs to create that buzz, and it would have, that definitely would have been a buzz with that knockout. That was a vicious shot, but credit to Walter. He got up and he's surviving right here and still in the mix. Good shot.
The same exact punch.
Andrade moved too, but the knockdown is Kautondokwa.
6,
Wow.
7,
They trade
8.
shots.
Okay? You sure? We're
If
okay.
he survives this one.
Okay.
Steve Willis says okay. He hurt Andrade too, fellas.
Normally, a guy with that much power can't take power shots. For some reason, Kautondokwa has a massive granite chin.
Hard body shot by Andrade. Messes him with a jab and then a big, wide left hand. Well, to your point, Sergio, this is getting more exciting.
Yes, it is. See, the thing about power punches, they're used to being the bullies. They're used to knocking out everything in sight. They're not the ones getting dropped. So Kautondokwa's proving that he has heart and he has the power, he has everything going for him, but except he's under control.
Andrade has got to be careful, by the way. He just stepped in, and you don't want to run into one of those right hands from Kautondokwa.
3,
Kautondokwa
4,
is staggered. Something
5,
short has to fire it out by
6,
Andrade.
7, 8. Not much more, Bobby. Okay, you got to get it together.
Andre's
Get it
shrugging
together.
his shoulders like, what else do I need to do to knock this guy out?
There is no 3 knockdown rule here.
And
But
Andre,
Steve Willis is saying, I'm not going to watch much more.
oh, look at that. Andre has never been, he had a reputation of being a puncher, but he's punching so hard here. And he wants that knockout.
He just missed that. The grazing left hand went across. He is looking.
Step back.
Now he's honed in on that jaw. He's been able to hit him cleanly in the head. Waits for another shot. Pulls to the body, looking to set his man up. He only has now 18 seconds left in this round.
He has to be careful too. Andre.
Beautiful right there. Three-punch combination, get under Kautondokwa's punches. He recovers. Great body shot.
Walter recovers quickly.
Head and body attack from Andrade.
Look at those combinations.
Are you okay? You want to continue? Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Don't neglect your defense. Don't go far. Don't go wild, you see? Just keep there and push him.
Here we go again.
Just a beautiful executed punch. It's the same punch. It's
And look at Andrade go back. Again, he got grazed. He didn't get, it wasn't with the same force, but they traded shots. Andrade went back on his heels, was able to right himself.
Okay?
But
And then
Kautondokwa
go here.
obviously
Go here.
dropped.
Don't go in the head. Go to the chest, okay?
I tell you what, Kautondokwa's being outclassed, but he's definitely not being outwilled. The heart in this man is tremendous.
Over there.
First fight outside of Africa.
Doc.
Comes here making his
Talk to
U.S.
him.
debut.
Come here.
You speak English? Yes, I do. Okay.
Andre just gave me a nod in the ring saying like, man, what am I going to do to knock this guy
several
out?
times.
Okay.
You're gonna go in?
I'm okay. Great.
I do like that move. Steve Willis saying, hey, how is he with his cognition? How is he cognitively? Can he respond to some questions from the ringside position? And what should we do here? Because if the man is concussed, knocked down 3 times, you've got more than enough reason to stop it right now. And obviously he's been hurt. He's been dropped 3 times.
But he's gotten back up and composed himself and came back with his own combination.
Well, that's what I mean. Willis realized, okay, why don't I get someone who's better equipped and trained to do an assessment? And I think that was a good move.
Not only that, guys, but he's been down 3 times already, so pretty much now he needs a knockout to win. And in reality, can he really get a knockout versus Andrade?
You know, no, I don't think so, but he's throwing some meaningful shots the other way, to the points you were making earlier, Sergio. As I often say, at some point in the night, I'll say, Sergio, you were right. It's a tradition. I argue with Sergio, and then, all right. Fifth round here, scheduled for 12. It's been exciting.
Andre's looking for that same time left hand. He steps back and times that shot and catches him. But Kautondokwa's up to his, he's up to that punch already. But with 3 knockouts, I mean, you would think that he needs a knockout to win. And just credit in the heart of Kautondokwa. I'm really impressed by his level of valor and his will to win.
Yeah, he arrived here on Monday. 22-hour flight. 2 layovers.
That's not enough time.
Yeah.
It wears the body down. That same left hand, that same shot, that same...
Right, you could see the sweat fly off the head of Kautondokwa, and yet he absorbed it fairly well.
After 4 rounds, Kautondokwa is down 8 points. So in reality, he can't win a decision anymore. He needs a knockout to win. Or several knockdowns.
I tell you what, though, again, I know you're right, Sergio, that it would have been exciting. Or, you know, 1-shot knockout would have been exhilarating, but now we get to see more skills. We get to see him test a little bit more. This is what we want. You know, again, there's real talent at middleweight. Up and down. And look, Andrade is ranked in the top 10 Ring Magazine ratings, the ESPN ratings. You know, by objective observers, he is one of the top 10 middleweights in the world, and it's only his second fight at 160 pounds.
He's a big middleweight, I can tell you that already. He was a huge junior middleweight, and he's a big middleweight now.
You know, it's the same punch that Andre is getting away with each time. It's a counter punch.
Andre's trying to step back. He's trying to lean back and trying to catch that left hand again, that straight left hand over Kautondokwa's right hand. It's a timed punch that a southpaw has advantage doing from that angle.
Final 30 seconds of the 5th round. We've seen a lot of action in this fight. 3 knockdowns. I still want to see that 3rd knockdown. I must have been blocked. I saw him go down. I don't know if he tripped or he went down.
You know what? Andre has a knock on him that he's not an exciting fighter. Well, that's going to change tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful shot. That looked low. And then he comes and brings it back up. Sensational work by Andre.
Look like he's getting stronger.
I love these body shots. It's pretty low, but
that one
borderline.
That's the one. No, the last 2 actually. You know, Steve Willis is wincing, but Steve, you know,
when isn't he wincing?
Steve, can you say, hey, keep him up?
Good, looking good.
Steve's in the fight.
Just keep boxing. All right.
Can Steve go the distance?
1, 2, and 3.
You gotta love Steve.
Close him.
Very emotional with his faces.
Yeah,
He is. Passionate referee there.
Walter Kautondokwa out of Namibia. Again, 10 days notice. He's had every reason just to call it a night. But it's a shot for him too at a world title belt, if not world championship. But there's a lot at stake. If he could somehow pull off a massive upset. He fights on, despite, as you mentioned, Sergio, he is back by a staggering number of points.
I like about Walter is the fact that he has poker face. He gets knocked down. You can't tell if he's hurt or what.
Did they say in the corner too? I thought I heard Paul Andrade there say, is this Demetrius saying, I think this guy's getting stronger.
Yes, that could be the case.
Stop.
We definitely know that Kautondokwa came to win a world title. Credit to him. He keeps rising up every time he goes down. I mean, I don't know how he got up from the first knockout. The second knockdown was just as brutal. He's amazing resilience on Kautondokwa's part.
Ubu Andrade, a natural righty, fights southpaw. Again, he will switch back and forth. And he's got power with both hands. And again, a full-sized 160-pounder here. But fighting against a man who is built like a light heavyweight. Good body shot by Andre.
You notice Walter goes a hook. He doesn't use his jab. As long as those arms are, he should use, that's a weapon.
And he's just trying to chop him in half now. And he's hit him with enough head shots. Sergio, well, I guess he looked over at you, right? And he said, what do I have to do? I guess that's it. Like, try something different.
He shrugged his shoulders, looked at me and said, what do I gotta do? I mean, I'm doing everything I can. I'm throwing everything plus the kitchen sink, and this man just won't stay down.
Well, this is an exciting effort, though. Main event for a title belt. Again, had to be disappointing when he didn't get Billy Joe Saunders. But now he comes in trying to make the best of it. And he's
No.
obviously-
No.
That's just
No need for that.
a tackle.
Don't be doing that.
Best,
You don't need
obviously
that.
in top shape. Comes back in and ready to go. Final minute of round 6, scheduled for 12.
Good lead-off fight.
Yeah, he can mix it up too, Sugar Ray, with that straight jab, and you see straight shots, and he goes wide as well. This is just a good arsenal.
Andrade trying to counter him again with the same shot that he dropped him with earlier.
Good movement by Andrade, but not quite on the run. Looking to get angles. Measuring. He has landed a lot of body shots in this round.
Well, with this movement,
No.
that was a trick.
You okay?
Yeah, on his own.
Okay.
Just went down.
Come here,
Hopefully he didn't
Watch
twist
the
his
feet,
ankle.
okay?
Step
Both of
on
you,
it.
watch your feet. Let's go.
Did he get stepped on? Okay.
Yeah, you get stepped on. Usually that happens when you get unorthodox in a southpaw fighter.
Okay, I
fighting
didn't
each
see
other.
that.
Pretty body shot there by Andrade.
Kautondokwa spins around, recovering from that shot.
Time!
It has been spirited so far. Can Andrade close the show? Take another look here. You would think after the Kid Galahad Toka Khan Clary fight, I'd be used to this, but there it is, on his foot,
On his foot.
and stayed there. Sugar Ray Leonard, what would you be telling Andrade in this corner at this point?
Bang it into a hook.
Be
If you get the
smart,
hook, hit the body
keep
half.
moving,
Bang, bang.
and don't be a
All right?
stationary target.
He seems to be doing that. I mean, he's doing that every round.
He's doing all of the above.
All right, how you feel? Good? All right, makes it good? His body's horrible.
Push him a little bit, okay? Push him a little bit and give your defense, okay?
Nestor Tobias, chief second for Walter Kautondokwa. It is Paul Andrade, Demetrius' father, in the corner for him, as Demetrius Andrade comes out round 7 and back in the conventional stance, fighting right-handed, orthodox, and flashes out, decent left jab.
One thing I got to bring up about Andrade is that he's showing a lot of patience for a young champion also, because normally when you can
Good turn to the body, and that was a beautiful hook from Andrade.
not only when you knock down your opponent so many times and you can't get him out of it, you start getting a little worried, and you get worried that you can't knock him out, and sometimes you punch yourself out and get mentally distressed.
Those are hard body shots that he's throwing right above us, and I tell you what, that he is doing it beautifully now, going to the body.
Kautondokwa, he has power, his long arms, but he doesn't have the right level of experience.
Hey! No.
That's a
Come
right
on now.
level of heart, that's for sure.
Okay?
He has that.
A lot of determination in staying on in this fight, and again, badly hurt several times.
I didn't think he would survive those punches.
Again,
That's a sheer will.
Demetrius Andrade was standing on the ropes, hands aloft, to a cheering Boston crowd. He's from Providence. Again, he's got their home fans here, and he thought this fight was over. You thought this fight was over.
So did I, yes.
Only Walter Kautondokwa said it's not over. I thought Steve Rose was going to say it's over. But we fight on round 7, again for a title belt, a vacant belt at 160 pounds. And look, there's belts out there, but you've got to be pretty good to fight for one, to win one. And then you get a little more leverage in the marketplace.
Now, Andrade can't fall asleep at the wheel because of the power of Walter.
And look, he's got this out to all beautiful, crisp work.
Good hand, good
Gorgeous.
combination.
And he's also throwing them hard. That's not doing a shoe shot.
No, that wasn't. He stepped back. That's a southpaw angle right there. He stepped back and came back with 3-punch combination. Beautiful on Andrade's part. Look at that. Beautiful pivot.
And Andrade, again, don't forget, again, we're in the final minute of this round, but in the opening minute, he threw out 5 or 6 hard body shots that all connected. So he's got points in the bank in this round alone.
At this point now, you would never have thought that Walter was down.
Yeah, good point.
He's
He
fresh, yeah.
looks clear.
Clear, exactly.
If not fresh, clear.
Fresh, clear. People
taking a walk.
Look at here.
Nothing but Kautondokwa can't win a title, even though he's behind so much. But he came to win. He came to show himself. Credit to him, but he's just being outclassed by superior power.
He's like moving back there, landing some body shots, but he does have to be careful. Kautondokwa fires off a jab. I thought we might see a Jersey Joe walkout there for a second. Maybe Andrade has that in his back pocket.
Yeah, see? I know.
Andrade stepping back. That's the southpaw angle I was telling you about. He steps back, comes back with a three-punch combination, missed that last overhand left, but he got the point across. He's going to counter every time Kautondokwa comes in.
Don't make him brave.
Too anxious, okay? Sharp, stay sharp, baby, okay? Stick that jab like a fucking sword. Nice and sharp, baby, okay? Excellent.
All right, now start turning. Can we have our right hooks in there? All right? Turn them.
You know, I get the sense, the challenge, you heard a few things there in the corner, it's to keep their man focused, engaged, and sharp, because he's done everything. And yet there's the other guy standing in front of you.
That's what I said earlier. It could be discouraging. I don't care how many times over you became a champion. It's discouraging to knock a guy down that brutally and for him to keep getting up every single time. It's like Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
He keeps coming at you. He's a monster.
He is the executioner. Well, the other guys had the masks.
He has a great chin, no question about that.
Brian Kenny, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Sergio Mora here ringside. This is our main event. We've had an outstanding night of boxing already. Katie Taylor with a win, Tevin Farmer with an outstanding performance, Kid Galahad with a classy win as well earlier in the night.
You know, I got to be honest, guys. I was a little leery and questionable about his record, his power, Kautondokwa's power. I question all of that because he's only fought out of Namibia once, but his heart, there's no doubting his heart.
And again, fighting as we mentioned several times in this broadcast, a supremely skilled guy. Now, you know,
one of the best.
Andrade is, right, he's not one of the top stars in the sport yet, but he is not only an outstanding boxer, but he can land hard shots as well. And yet, here's Kautondokwa, who has no business being in here with him at this point, fighting him hard.
Yeah, hands are free. Work it out. Hands are free. Free. Step back. I got it. Go. Good.
You know, he's going to be a better fighter. Walter's going to be a better fighter after this. No question about that. He's going to learn so much from these rounds.
World-class experience.
Definitely going to be admired.
Yep. To get up 3 knockdowns, especially the second knockdown where he was staggered, taking a walk down the ropes. Andrade trying something a little different here. He's not really gone to the sustained body attack that he did in round 7. But I understand, well, your concentration, it's difficult to keep it like in 5th or 6th gear.
No. Okay. Right.
Andrade knocked him back down there. Glove touched the canvas.
Yeah, if he had gotten touched or clipped on the way out, that would be a knockdown.
Yes, it would have.
You know what's impressive, guys? I mean, this is the only second time Walter has been past 6 rounds. It says a lot, because he looks great. They both do.
Focused and determined.
Good shots.
But way behind on points, clearly.
He's still looking for a big shot. I mean, if anything, he does have a big shot. He possesses that one-punch knockout, and he's looking for it. He's pressuring him. He's coming, stalking. Like I said, he's like Frankenstein. Keeps coming.
And you see here the movement is really confusing Walter.
8th round was a little more on cruise control. Andrade didn't take it off, wanted to do just enough. But Walter Kautondokwa is still there and still lurking.
Hold on. We have to win this. If I want to win this fight, we must work more, okay? Don't stay.
All right, let's couple of jabs down to the downstairs, then go right back to the right hook. So he don't expect jab, step, right hook. Just pass that jab, stomach, chest, Right here in this area, a couple of those jabs, step over, right hook.
Nice. Thanks.
He won't see it coming.
Stay sharp with it, okay? Stay sharp.
All right? You feel all right?
Nice. Looking beautiful, baby. Looking beautiful.
He has looked beautiful in this fight, and another reason that Andrade really has to be impressive in these fights is if you are, say, Canelo Alvarez, as we get into round 9, Brian Kenny, Sergio Morris, Sugar Ray Leonard here. If you are Canelo Alvarez and you're picking your spots and you're fighting big fights and then you have to have some keep busy fights in here, you need to be compelled to fight Demetrius Andrade, don't you? I mean, you know, there's always a risk reward, and there's a big risk in fighting and boxing this guy. You need to say, hey, at least there'll be a reward. I'll fight this skilled fighter, but if it's worth it, if this guy's already a star, if he's not a star, why do I want to mess with this?
Demetrius Andrade, even though he had long layoffs, he had injuries, he's still one of the most avoided fighters in boxing because he's a big, strong southpaw. He has experience, and he's tough, as he obviously is showing tonight.
And look, Canelo Alvarez fought Austin Trout, who's
Hands are free. Work out, work out.
And then he went after Floyd Mayweather and demanded Floyd Mayweather and got him, even while he was a little young and Floyd was, you know, not old enough to be deteriorated.
Eddie Rami Lara, who he tried to avoid for a long time.
That's a good point. Right, against a guy that had no-win situation. So he will fight you, but Andrade needs to create that mandate, needs to create the demand.
I'm impressed with Andrade because of his inactivity. I mean, maybe 12 months.
Beautiful combination there by Andrade. He stepped back. That's a southpaw's advantage right there. He steps back in a 4-punch combination. 2 upstairs, 2 downstairs, and pivot out.
And Ray, you're right. There's no way you'd be watching this guy thinking he's been off for a year.
No way, no way.
9th round here, again scheduled for 12. It's for the IBO belts at 160 pounds, so it's a championship rounds. And Andrade now made to go deep into the night. It is deep into the night, isn't it? Ball game's been over for a while.
Punches up.
No ball game at Fenway Park tonight, though.
Dodgers versus Boston.
The Dodgers winning the National League Championship Series. Boston here is, of course, you know, buzzing with the Red Sox hosting the World Series here on Tuesday. I know the promoters here, Eddie Hearn, was saying, I'm so glad to see the Red Sox polish off Houston and not have to come back here the same night. Got a good crowd here tonight. And settling in here in the main event.
Andrade taking off this round. Looks like he's just trying to stay at ease and close out the show. Not really throwing that many punches, but then again, Kautondokwa's not really throwing many punches either.
Look at that Walter's legs, man. He still has a nice balance to him. Normally when you get knocked down that many times, your legs start to fail.
Right, the combination of being hurt, right? Yes. And now just round after round after round, where you have to move and hunt. He has stayed composed, mentally and physically. Andrade just has to stay sharp, stay focused, stay interested. He's done everything he's had to do, but the man is still in front of him.
Both these fighters took that round off, and I don't know why Kautondokwa didn't try to pressure and pursue him more, but he took that round off too.
Main event here in Boston. There are the middleweight titleists. Canelo Alvarez, Ryota Murata, also Canelo Alvarez, Jamal Charlo. Again, there's always belts. But look, Canelo Alvarez, Canelo beating Triple G. And I thought he actually did beat him and outbox him and won that fight. That makes him the middleweight champion of the world.
He has nothing if you don't find his range.
That list could have easily said Canelo, because that's what Andrade wants.
Huh?
Yep. And look, Triple G could be in play. There could be a demand for a 3rd fight. Again, the scope has to clear for Dazn
have a big finale, right?
and Canelo.
Stay sharp.
They will fight December 15th. Canelo Alvarez will be at Madison Square Garden against Rocky Fielding. And he's getting right back into it. Only a few months later. And then Andrade, with a win here, with more impressive work, will be in play for all these fights. But again, the risk-reward factor will play into it. Do you need to play with this guy if you don't have to? No, you don't.
These are dangerous opponents. These last-minute replacements, I'm telling you, they're the worst because you don't know what to expect. You train to fight another style. You don't expect to fight a power puncher. You expect to fight a southpaw in B.J. Saunders, a guy that can move and he can use angles. And instead, you're fighting a big, strong, Namibian fighter that you never even seen. There's only one tape on him that I was able to get. I'm sure Andrade couldn't find tape on him either. They're scary opponents.
And to your point, Sergio, you're preparing. You bring in sparring partners to prepare for a specific fighter, a volume puncher, as opposed to this guy who is, a dangerous puncher from long range.
I've been there before. It's the worst. Last-minute replacements are just as dangerous as a punch you don't see. It's just dangerous.
I haven't had those, thank God, but you train for weeks at a time for a boxer, then you face a slump.
You haven't had that, Ray, because you're the payday. So if I injure myself training for you, I'm still gonna fight you. You're the payday.
Ray, don't look to me. You call the shots. It's not easy being on top, Ray. We understand that.
Okay,
guys. It's like you're training for Canelo Alvarez and you get injured. You're still gonna fight.
Okay, guys, let's go.
Ray, you're losing this round. It takes two of us. Round 10 championship rounds here. Again, this for a vacant WBO middleweight title. Billy Joe Saunders, who you mentioned, failed the drug test, was not licensed. They wanted the event to go on, and that's always tricky. Like I've been at events where, fighters have failed the drug test, and the opponent, the guy who didn't fail the drug test, says, "Look, I've trained for this fight. I want this fight to go on. Maybe I'll just fight him anyway," which defeats the purpose of the drug test, especially a guy failing it. But you've trained, you're ready, and you need to take that payday.
I go through a straight left hand.
And Kautondokwa's hurt. I mean, he had nothing to lose. He came to this country, first time in this country, and of course he wants to become a middleweight champion, but he came with a heavy heart. I mean, I know that he's mustering up his strength now. I mean, his mother died a week before he got the call to get this fight, so that just has to give him that extra edge to get up no matter what and try to win this title.
Giving him a hyper focus and determination, climbing off the deck 3 times in this fight. By the way, we can update that graphic. Rob Brandt just dethroned Ryoto Murata moments ago. That's for a WBA regular belt. So wait, so Canelo is it out very clearly. If you want to win, you must knock him out. He is way behind on points, so he's just dragging it out here. He has 2 rounds left, and for all the heart and spirit that he has shown, if he does want to actually get a victory, he's going to have to do something different.
Something very dramatic, something as a knockout.
Something inspiring that he probably can't do, but he does have the power to
Watch the feet.
But he was down. He needed a knockout to win maybe in the 6th round. I mean, he was behind that much.
Even right there, we just saw a few seconds ago. Like, there's a chance for a long distance right hand.
Watch the feet, off the foot.
There's a
off
chance.
the feet. Watch the feet.
Fires it again. A
Good.
right hand straight down the middle. Andre cannot get lazy here.
Watch the feet. Both feet.
And he won't.
He's been in range more in the last 20 seconds than I think he's been all night.
His eyes are like flashlights.
Okay.
Well, he realizes that he's in with a guy that's not going to go anywhere. Kautondokwa just showed tremendous heart. He is not going anywhere. He did everything he can to stop this man. He kept getting up.
Andre has been slipping that punch, that left hand of left hook of Walter. He's doing the right thing, by the way.
Not for nothing, but Kautondokwa, I think we're definitely going to see Kautondokwa again, maybe with another rising middleweight or a top contender, because he proved he's valiant, he's brave. he can pop because Andrade is obviously leery about something. But just the courage alone is going to get him another big fight, hopefully in the States.
You know, no, you're absolutely right. Like, if on an undercard somewhere, would you want to see Kautondokwa? Yeah, but, you know, maybe not a main event, but to see him somewhere.
Not against me.
You sure? No. I think he's 6'7" now. Sergio's like, I can't fight that guy. Yeah. Even if we're the same weight, I'm not fighting that guy.
No way. I mean, both of these guys impress me with what they execute, taking a punch, staying composed.
Well, we expected to be impressed by Demetrius Andrade. I mean, he's just an incredible boxer puncher, but Kautondokwa impresses with his resilience, his heart, his courage, bravery. It really is impressive.
Yeah, and I refuse to even enter into, you know, is this lackluster now? Because it was still an exhilarating performance by Andrade. He has been unable to put him away completely, and maybe Kautondokwa finishes on his feet, but he still showed everything you want to see.
It's not Andrade's fault that he couldn't stop this guy. He did everything he could.
Time!
Hey, I want to take a look back now. I still haven't seen the third knockdown fight.
Good.
I still want to see it. I was looking right at it. I was blocked, and suddenly Kautondokwa went down. I don't know if we showed it. Have we shown that? I don't think we showed the first two. So here you go. While we have time, it's round 4.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness. That was worth seeing.
And he got back up.
Beautiful shot. Look at that.
Just got back up.
That's a southpaw bread and butter right there. Stepping back and
Put that towel
coming
on top
back
of
with
his
that
head
left
real
counter.
quick.
I was blocked. It was like an eclipse ray. I didn't see it. Kautondokwa didn't see it, neither did I. No, I couldn't. His body was in front. It went straight up the middle, and suddenly I saw Kautondokwa went down. I thought, did he trip?
He said that.
And now I needed confirmation, and I have a result. He did not trip. He did not trip.
He tripped on the left hand.
I feel better.
Tap gloves. Okay, last round. Let's go.
12th and final round. The fact that Walter Kautondokwa is still standing is remarkable. Demetrius Andrade, meantime, putting out an outstanding performance. He has taken his foot off the gas a little bit, though, since the 7th round, when he had an impressive body attack. We haven't seen that since.
Kautondokwa, very impressive performance. And with Andrade, he's doing everything right.
He's won every single round. Now we try to pull out a little bit, body shots again. Again, when I mentioned the 7th round, if we look back on tape, I'm sure we think, look at these shots. He was going body and head, doing everything. Kautondokwa was able to absorb it.
Andrade is throwing combinations in the 12th round.
Yep.
Kautondokwa needs to change his name from the executioner to the boogeyman. I can't believe he's just stalking Andrade. He keeps getting up. He is not going nowhere.
Andrade will win in a shutout by like an incredibly wide margin, and you're right. He will wake up in the middle of the night and he will see Kautondokwa in front of him.
I'm gonna have nightmares of Kautondokwa. Look at that. I've never shot him.
Backs up Kautondokwa. There's a lot of time left in this round.
I got it. Step back. Yeah, let it go.
Andrade wants that back out.
Yes, he does. But he still needs to be careful because look at that right hand that just missed right there by Kautondokwa.
That was an impressive throw. Comes back in. He is putting everything on these shots.
Well, this was not a bad performance by Andrade's part. He did everything he had to do to take this guy out. Normally we'll say he's not an exciting fighter. He's definitely an exciting fighter in this fight. Kautondokwa did everything he had to do.
Wait, not only that, I mean the 3 knockdowns, and by the way, knocked down when he was first down when he was on one knee. By the way, that didn't feel good either. That was the worst shot. And yet the other 2 shots were flush that dropped him, eyes rolling back in his head. And yet he is here, and now in the final minute of the final round. Deep into the night here in Boston.
I mean, you can capitalize on this A-plus performance, Andre can, with a knockout, obviously, in the 12th round, which is very difficult to do. But it was an A-plus performance in my book. He did everything he had to do against a very tough opponent.
He's against a guy who has a heart and a lion.
I'm with you, A+.
Yes,
I know he's a tough grader, but I get an A+ as well. That was outstanding.
Because he stayed poised. He stayed poised throughout the entire night. And he's still trying to look for the knockout. He just got there. And everyone here standing on their feet for an Andre fight. There you go.
On a second. Kautondokwa to the very end was firing. But Demetrius Andrade, unable to fight the man that he signed for, did come here to Boston and fought beautifully in the main event.
Look around, Brian. Everyone is standing up, clapping, not only because of Kautondokwa's heart, but because of a performance by Demetrius Andrade. This was a great performance on his part.
Andrade there with promoter Eddie Hearn. Now, for the second time in the night, he gets to stand on the ropes and say, I won. He thought he was winning earlier in the night. Thought he had his man out in the 3rd round. And very nearly did.
Great performance from both men, both fighters.
Kautondokwa, 10 days notice. Knocked down 3 times, and I mean knocked down stiff as well. Climbing off the canvas, answered the call as best he could to Steve Willis, and didn't give Steve Willis an excuse to stop it either. Because Willis, you can see, he's acting, you see the stern look by the referee, Steve Willis. If he had a chance, he would have stopped it. Now there was the shot that, you know, borderline, or just call it what it is, it's a flat out illegal. And there could have been a DQ there. You don't want to see that. But I tell you what, if Kautondokwa had just stayed down there, you'd really have an interesting decision, wouldn't you? Because that's an illegal shot.
That is an illegal shot.
I still can't believe how he got knocked. And he got up from these knockouts. I mean, Kautondokwa's heart is just incredible, but credit to Andrade, just amazing what he did.
And Andrade, with different angles, different shots, here actually grazed Andrade as he went. He stumbles backwards, and did he touch the glove?
Yes, he did.
The canvas.
That could have been a double knockout.
They both rocked each other.
That's a double knockdown. I didn't even realize he put the gloves down, and he actually got hit. Steve Willis didn't realize that.
Wow, that was a knockdown.
I saw it happen live, but I wasn't sure, and by then I was looking at the other fallen fighter who clearly got drilled.
How exciting would that have been on Andre, a double knockout, a double knockdown?
I mean, clean shots. It was clean shots, clean, effective shots.
Exciting main event, as it turns out, here for the fans that await the World Series. Take a look at the punches. We really haven't talked much about the punch stats. Has not been necessary, but landing triple the shots, at least according to CompuBox, did Andrade. And you see even the jabs, just not even close. Just remarkable that it did, in fact, go the distance. You see the power punches. Let's get the official decision and Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Glenn Feldman scores it 120 to 104. Ramon Sudan 119 to 105. Marcus McDonald 120 to 104. All 3 scores to the winner by unanimous decision. From Providence, Rhode Island, now a 3-time world champion and the new undefeated WBO middleweight champion of the world, Demetrius Andrade.
Outstanding performance by Andrade, who goes to 26-0 and wins a vacant WBO belt. Look, those belts help in the marketplace, and his performance also helps in the marketplace.
Very much so. We've grown grand performance, heart, conditioning, good win, great win.
And in danger for a good part